Let's get into it, baby.
Ah, yeah, it's time to travel and bang, baby.
This is Travel and Bang. I am Marky Bravo the Mulatto. Welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games. Here to talk about the dark arts of seduction and the nuance of game. I'm glad you came. This is brought to you by AO Nutrition, also known as Anabolic Outlaws. Gentlemen, if you're about that gym game, you want to get swole, you want to get hard body, you want to get fit, you want the beautiful honey bunnies to do double takes when you're walking past them in the street, then you need to go to this website and check their arsenal of enhancement, supplements, and pro hormones. It will take you to the next level, I swear to God, okay? Leave the link below, straight out of Florida, baby. Check it out. Okay, so this video, let's get right into it. I want to focus in on women's duplicitous sexual nature. Okay, because we are, through social programming as men, we tend to think women fall into a binary sort of thing where one is a sexually conservative, prudish or semi-prudish, monogamous, wholesome, loyal, good girl versus the diabolical, sexually uninhibited, provocative, easy to get in bed sluts, okay? And words like hoe and thought, all the other derogatory terms that might be thrown into that pool, you know what I mean? So what I want all men to understand, I want to reiterate, because this has already been covered, okay, by the gentlemen that I even take teachings from: Alan Roger Curry, Coach Corey Wayne, Lucario, and Miles Cunningham, Steve Williams. The list goes on and on and on and on. All come to the same agreement that there's a crossroads where a woman is a woman is a woman is a woman. It all depends on the type of game, the type of courtship that you're applying. Because psychologically, I call it button pushing. Okay? If we talk about frequency, energy, and vibration, oh my God, here we go again with this bullshit, right? No, we need to talk about it. Energy, frequency, vibration. So we'll just condense it and we'll call it vibes, right? So the vibes that you're giving off will predict what kind of behavior the woman will feel comfortable displaying around you. So if you're giving off these brother-sister vibes, these platonic brother-sister vibes, right? A lot of men would call this weak game or no game at all. Then guess what? That woman will just pretend she's the one who looks like she's sexually conservative, soccer suburban mother, the loyal, wholesome, good girl, right? Because you're putting out those vibes that are platonic. Or say you're not putting out platonic brother-sister vibes. You're putting out the, oh, she's a good girl vibe. Guess what? She's going to mirror that. She's going to want to live up to that image that she thinks that she's projecting, that you're reading into. And that's why that same woman, right? One man will date that woman and it will take forever for her to become sexually intimate with that guy. But then here comes the bad boy, okay? The thug, the bad boy, whatever. You know what I mean? Billy Badass. He comes along and he goes on first, even second date with her, and she's already butt naked in bed with him doing double monkey backflips. You know what I mean? That's the difference. Let's talk about the duplicitous sexual nature of women. You can get into this even deeper if you check out Alan Roger Curry's books. Okay, I love that guy's the grandmaster about this. I'm just skimming on the surface of that planet. He drills into the core. But this is very real because I've experienced this firsthand. As we talked about my past, being a former, Army combat veteran, then being a defense contractor. And as I was in the military working for the US government, traveling overseas to all these different countries And then also on vacations, traveling to different countries, I would run into women you would least expect. Those conservative looking, prudish type of good girl, or, you know, soccer moms that you would think that would not easily just sexually give themselves to random dudes. Then I would drop the bomb using so-called direct verbal game. Okay? And I realized the big difference in the situations where I was indirect. I was, as Alan Roger Curry names it, mode 2. I'd be cryptic, I'd be indirect on what I was looking for. You know what I mean? It almost comes across like when you're doing that you have some ego issue. You have pride. You don't want to just come out and say it. It's almost an effeminate trait, gentlemen. You shouldn't be doing that. I realize I shouldn't be doing that, ever. It should be just direct game, mode 1. When I would run into these women, no matter if it was the United States, Australia, or I was visiting Dubai, right? When I did that game, you know what I mean? Directly. Like, I have no intentions or wants or desires to be another one of your platonic male friends. I want to become intimate with you. Would you be open for that? And all of a sudden, before you know it, the woman's responding with, yeah, I'd be open to that. And that you can see it in their eyes, because their mind is blown, because 9 out of 10 men are not going to apply mode 1, direct verbal game. They're not. They're not. You know what I mean? And I remember when I started really applying it after I read the books by Alan Roger Curry, I knew it, I understood it more as an art form instead of just something randomly that I'd bump into, not knowing that I was doing most of my life. And then just really going for it. You know, like I was overseas in Kuwait working on Camp Arif John. I ran into this married woman, and that I did mode 1, and it shocked her. She was almost like frightened by it because I was so direct about it. But then she ended up complying, because what did we say? What kind of women are we looking for? Remember, because if they don't fall into that, it doesn't matter if they're not going to go for the verbal, your direct mode 1 game. Because you want them to be fun, fit, friendly, submissive, cooperative, and ready to go. Fun, fit, friendly, cooperative, submissive, and ready to go. And they're out there. Gentlemen, they're out there. But you're not going to know shit from Shayola unless you do direct verbal game. Okay? Trademarked, of course, by Alan Roger Curry as mode 1. You have to do it that way. As soon as I grasped the concept of mode 1 and I started doing it, it was like a brand new world. It was like, what the, wow, man, if I only knew this in my 20s. Okay? I was going to different parts, you know, flying to different countries, different cities, and I was just doing the direct verbal game. And now, don't get me wrong now, there was sometimes it didn't work. Sometimes it just didn't work, because attraction isn't a choice. We all know that. It's biological. How can you turn a woman off? Because if she was off, she was on. You understand? So attraction isn't a choice. So it's, you go in there with the bulldozer, mode 1 game, direct verbal game, the woman's going to let you know right then and there where she stands with it. And this is the scary part, is if you don't learn how to be direct. We live in a world where you have to be mode 1. Okay? You see all these men out there getting hemmed up, fucked up, losing their careers, losing their whole life because they weren't directly using verbal direct game mode 1. Governor Cuomo. I don't want to get political. I'm not a left wing. I'm not a right wing. I'm just an independent dude. But I checked the game. Governor Cuomo of New York City, because he wasn't applying mode 1 direct game. These women, they got him. These women who did not particularly like him felt they weren't getting they didn't get anything out of the interaction with him. He paid the price for that. Governor Cuomo. Now, if he was doing mode 1 direct game, it would have never happened. because they've been verbally would have responded that yes, they're in it to participate in what he's looking for. But he didn't do that. He's doing indirect game, a little this, a little that, you know what I mean? Making moves on women when he wasn't even 100% sure if they were really, down and about it, like Master Peace would say, right? So that's why verbal direct game is so important. Because of the supposedly the duplicitous nature of women that we think, like I said, it's a good girl, bad girl, the Madonna whore dichotomy. When the reality, it's an illusion. It's the same person, only putting on a different act on a different theater stage of life. Do you understand? It's the same woman. But you're not gonna get that certain sexual nature out of the woman unless you peel back the curtain, the Wizard of Oz curtain, and see who's behind the curtain. Okay? Now don't get me wrong, then you have some women who you think that are diabolical, promiscuous, slut, whore, bitches and shit. And then you find out like, wow, they just enjoy the provocative attire. They're not even that woman that they're projecting themselves to be. I ran into a lot of women like that as well. Like, it's like, I don't understand, because everything, how you dress is your uniform. I'm like, you dress like a whore, but you're not a whore. Huh. Interesting. Huh. You know what I mean? So things are not what they seem, gentlemen. Never. To peel back, as I said before, the curtain and to get to the root of the matter. In today's world, in today's #MeToo world, it's very dangerous for you not to be mode 1. Even Rollo Tomassi from the Red Pill Awareness community said, that's the future. That is the future for men's dating strategy, is to be what Alan Roger Curry coined as mode 1. And you need to be mode 1. And I love mode 1 because it gets rid of the manipulative time wasters and the women who are just not feeling it. They're not into you. If anything, they're going to exploit the fact. They're going to be like, ooh, he likes me. He's sexually attracted to me. I'm going to exploit this fucking simp. I'm going to milk him for everything he's worth. I'm going to make him think I'm going to give him some pussy. And I'm just going to take advantage of him. He's going to be just trying to smell my punani. And then once he gets close, I'll push him away. And he'll be like, oh, please, man, please give me some pussy. Yeah, you got those women out there. You got those type of women, sadistic, vile creatures out there. They find pleasure in seeing you simping and never ever have 1 ounce, 1 droplet of sexual attraction for you. They're just there to see you beg on your knees, please, please, please. If you want to be that guy, you want to be a cuck, go ahead. The way to go, gentlemen, is mode 1. Be direct. That doesn't mean, before I wrap the video up real quick, disclaimer, doesn't mean go up and start talking crazy. Hey, you DTF? What? You down to fuck? Hey, what's up? Want to come back to my place? Get drilled? Nah, that's crazy talk, gentlemen. Gentlemen, this is ghetto, ignorant blasphemy. Blasphemous talk. This is bullshit. It's all within the regards of tact, class, and a demeanor of being a gentleman. That's why it is. We need to go by, what would James Bond do? Remember that. Always ask yourself before you open your mouth, what would James Bond do? You only have 2 times to make a first impression. The way you dress, that's how the woman's going to perceive you. Okay? The way you dress, and the second is what comes out of your mouth. And most men fuck up as soon as they open their goddamn mouth. And the woman thinks to herself, oh God, I was into it before he started talking. This has been Travel and Bang. Another one. Stay good, stay safe. There's a hurricane over here, people. Asombroso.